Hello, this is Adam Carlson from Murphy Entertainment Studio, and I'm here tonight to talk to you about fantasy football. And you might ask, why would I want to listen to this guy? Well, I'm a 21-year veteran of fantasy football. I'm a four-time league champion, and I consider myself an expert, but not a professional. And I'm about to show you why. So I am going to give you a position by position breakdown on each position in fantasy football and where I would consider drafting them. For those who are not familiar, fantasy football is where you get a group of your friends together and you go from a pool of NFL players and you assemble a team and compete against each other. So let's get into this. Quarterbacks. I am of the position that you should wait on a quarterback. To me, round 7 and 8 is the hot spot. I believe you have the top 3 or 4, and then like 10 guys may as well just be the same guy. And, some people might say, but take Patrick Mahomes. And my answer to that would be, well, you're not going to lose because you have Patrick Mahomes on your team, but you may lose because of the starting running backs and wide receivers that you were not able to get. So I would start looking at Mahomes in round 3, and of course this whole thing changes if you're in a 2 quarterback league. This is for a standard league. Personally, I wait on a quarterback. Now let's talk running backs. Well, my top 7 players are all running backs. I believe if you have a top 7 pick, it should definitely be a running back. I think that you should have both your starting running backs by the end of round 4, or you will get stuck trying to translate the Eagles or Patriots backfield. And I would say good luck to you on that. Now, wide receivers. I believe that towards the end of round 1 is when I would start looking at the stud receivers. Receivers are deep this year, but not as deep as they've been in the past. So I actually, if you're picking at the end of round 1, I don't think you should be afraid to go back-to-back receivers in round 1 and 2, and then you can get your starting running backs in round 3 and 4. After all, do you think you're better off getting the 9th best running back or a two top 5 receivers? That's my opinion on it, and that's wide receivers. Let's talk tight ends. There's the top trinity, and then there's everybody else. So here's what I'm doing with tight ends this year. I will start looking at Kelsey in the middle of the 2nd round, and Zach Ertz and Kittle I will start looking at in the 3rd round. And if I don't get any of them, then I will just wait until like round 10, 8 or 10, 9, 10, and hope that I can get a Jack Doyle, Vance McDonald, Delaney Walker, so somebody like that, serviceable but not great. And I'll load up at the other positions. Now, defense and kicker. I cannot stress this enough. if you want to compete in your league, do not draft a kicker or a defense until the last 2 rounds of your draft. I will repeat that. Do not draft a kicker or a defense until the last 2 rounds of your draft. Now, enough of that. Those are boring. Now I will give you my top 10 players in fantasy football this year. Number 10, Michael Thomas, wide receiver, New Orleans Saints. He has the most catches through the first 3 years of his career of any player in NFL history. He will keep Drew Brees young for another year. He's in for a big year. Should be more of the same. 100 plus catches, 1,300 yards, double-digit touchdowns, total stud. Number 9 will be DeAndre Hopkins. This guy is a beast. He's averaging 1,500 yards and 13 touchdowns over the last 2 years. He's huge. He dominates even the best of cornerbacks. He's definitely worth the late first rounder. Now, number 8, and my top wide receiver on the board is Julio Jones. This guy is another beast. He led the league in receiving yards last year. And in the second half of the season, he actually started getting his touchdown game on. So, and he has a stud in Matt Ryan throwing the football to him. So, number 8, Julio Jones. Number 7, Todd Gurley. And last year he was a consensus number 1, but the knee scares me a little bit. He faded at the end of last year. He was not the same player. They are saying they're going to limit his touches this year, so I don't know what that looks like, but he's too good to drop out of the first round. He'll still get the main touches, the goal line touches, so I'll put him at number 7. Number 6, Le'Veon Bell. New York Jets running back. And I do not trust the Jets. That's why I do not have him ranked higher. I'm not afraid of his holdout last year. I don't see how it's a bad thing that a running back sitting out a year of not taking abuse could be a bad thing, but the Jets I don't trust. So that's why he's not higher on the list. Number 5, David Johnson, running back, Arizona Cardinals. This guy's probably going to catch 100 balls this year. He's going to go over 1,000 yards. He was grossly misused last year. But Cliff Kingsbury will feed him the ball. So I'm looking at possibly 2,000 total yards and double-digit touchdowns. Number 4 will be Alvin Kamara. This guy's just a touchdown machine. He's in a little bit of a timeshare, but what running back isn't? And he will be a stud again this year. Lots of catches. Could have 1,800 total yards, 16 touchdowns. It's gonna be a beast. Number 3, Christian McCaffrey, running back, Carolina Panthers. He could average 1,000, or he could have 1,000 rushing and receiving yards, double-digit touchdowns. He'll probably catch 100 balls again. Cam Newton loves feeding him. He's in for a great season. Number 2, Ezekiel Elliott, running back, Dallas. Now, this, of course, is assuming he reports to camp and doesn't continue his holdout. If he does that, adjust everything up one and move him back. but he is going to, I think, just show why he's worth the money he wants. If he's in for a huge season, and that's it. And number one, Saquon Barkley, running back, New York Giants. This guy became the best fantasy player in his rookie season. He's only going to get better. It's going to be scary how many yards and touchdowns he puts up. Just draft him and enjoy the show. And that is my top 10, and that is my fantasy football preview. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a regular viewer, thank you. If you just did a YouTube search on fantasy football and happened to find us, well, please, while you're here, check out some of our interviews and some of our movie reviews. There's some good stuff on here, and well, we would love your sub or comment or whatever. And in the meantime, this is Adam Carlson, Murphy Entertainment Studio. We'll be coming at you again soon with another video. Thank you.